Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. My name is DK. It's great to be here. Big B is with me as well. We are both feeling extremely narcoleptic as we head into the show, but I'm sure all of you out there will help us rejuvenate our energy as we move along. We are, as you can see, 8 minutes and about 38 seconds from going live from a brand new Cave Crew Radio. We're going to start our countdown to get rid of this abominable year. It's gone. It's going. Something better's got to happen in 3-4 weeks, I guess it is. How you doing, Big B? You got a big yawn for us or something?
Holy fuck, do I want to go to sleep?
I hear you. I'm having gyros after the show.
Oh, gyros. But that's actually not what they're called either. They're called like heroes or something like that. Not heroes isn't the sandwich, but I don't understand how it's pronounced hero, but we call it gyros here in New York.
Yeah, we just say gyro. I guess we try to throw that Canadian spin on it.
You could say gyro, eh?
Yeah, gyro, eh? We're going to have a gyro, eh? Choo Choo Who is not legitimately live in the studio with us, but we put out there that if you, you know what? This is, speaking of psychics, and you can see there are some people that listened and clicked that link, so they will not be YouTube users tonight. He says, I can't see you. And I before we went live in our narcoleptic beginning here, Big B, I was thinking, I really miss when Jason Scott used to say, I can't see you.
That was a staple of the pre-show. He would always come on and say, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I can't see you guys. I can't see you. G is pronounced with an H, he says. Here.
So if I told somebody to go, I would just say ho?
Yeah. What else could we do? It's a great moment. We say, right. What else is there? Things are very good. It's hood.
Very hood.
Maybe the politically correct African Americans were onto something when they said we're in the hood. What other words could we? Hey, so if we replaced, and I'm not insulting you, Amanda, by any means, another one that listened to click that link so we could see who they are. Beautiful picture. We could switch the H's with G's and we would say gay.
Instead of being happy, you're gappy.
Yeah, even we're exhausted, we could have fun.
Lovely.
I'm not sure what that means.
We do have one Facebook user, and of course, Jason and Amanda. So our number one fan is still in the chat room, our Facebook user. We just don't know who it is.
I don't see Facebook user.
That was the first comment. They said, hey, all.
I'm missing that one.
That 1949.
Okay, I apologize. Hey, all to you too. Facebook user. Jason Scott. I know, Amanda. I thought that was an excellent point. Why do they say that was a conversation? Why do you say? Why do I say gyro? And he says gyro. We're pronouncing vowels and consonants and different values. And Big B said it's legitimately pronounced. I guess in where? Lebanon? Where are these things from? Hero,
yeah.
Hero.
I don't know where they're from. It's Middle Eastern food.
Right.
Halal is the official term for it. But no, Facebook user is we can't see you. It's Facebook.
Yeah, and we can't
Facebook user.
We can't see Jason or Amanda either, but they are members of the Cave Crew Radio group, and apparently they're our number one fan.
Well, Facebook user is our number one fan.
I thought YouTube user was where are we going here? Right? One week it's YouTube user, the next week it's Facebook user.
Oh, that's right. It
I'm
is
a
YouTube user. I
user.
forgot about that.
I'm an abuser.
I totally forgot about that. And Jason's now getting on you, saying you don't even cook. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
I'll cook your woman a meal, and I'll be the handsome guy that comes in from that meme.
How ironic is that Jason's telling you don't cook?
Yeah, exactly. This is Dr. Domino's in the chat. A Facebook user, all you got to do is say, it's producer Scotty.
There we
go. What? I don't think you're recognized anywhere on the internet. You probably been blocked everywhere. My good friend, producer Scotty. Now the show is going to be fun. Now I'm going to wake up.
There you go.
We are 3 minutes and 16 seconds away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your countdown to 2021. We need to get a schedule together because Christmas Day is a Friday. So we're thinking of Boxing Day. New Year's Eve Day or New Year's Day is a Friday. So I think we're good. We're going to work it out anyway.
We will be around for the holidays. Maybe not the holiday.
We will be home for Christmas. Facebook user is blocked up constantly.
Well, that you can get. They have medicine for that.
Don't we have a product somewhere that we've invented at some point or another?
I'm sure there is.
Castor oil and sage or something.
I don't know, but I know the X-Lax. A friend of mine told me this story when he was a kid. X-Lax looked like little pieces of chocolate, so he ate a lot of X-Lax, thinking they were chocolate, and he certainly paid for it.
I've heard stories like that. I've heard stories where other people have like pretend it was a Hershey bar or something, and passed it on to people. And
yeah, because apparently it looks like chocolate. I actually don't know. I've never taken it, but apparently it looks like it's a chocolate bar.
Very well. There's the pre-show fact of the night. Big B has regular movements. I do not need Metamucil.
I do not yet. At my advanced age, I'm still good in that department.
I think because of the amount of beer I consume, I'm always very flatulent.
And very regular.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently X-Lax really does look like chocolate. So especially little young ones looking to get into candy, apparently can have taken copious amounts of X-Lax and spent.
Instead of like we're not allowed to smack our kids anymore, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe we could give them some X-Lax candy, teach them a lesson.
That'll teach you to fuck around. Go ahead. Now you're going to shit your brains out for the next 3 days.
This
fucker.
Just in. Facebook user will be back in a few minutes. They're going to walk the dogs.
Great.
Can't wait.
Thank you. The cats. Did you feed the cats?
Do is a regular all the time. I wonder if I replace that with a
H.
I don't know what to do. All right, folks, we're 16 seconds away. This is it. We're going into the festive season. We're going into the holiday season. Join us. Let's have some fun. Choo Choo Who has picked 2 lucky people to have their fortune told tonight. Is pre-recorded, but we'll have it here for you. We got Mike Tyson updates and a whole bunch of really cool stories, including one that I just read before we came on the air. And I can't wait to discuss that with Big B and everyone that is out there. Once I find my mouse, we are about to go live, ladies and gentlemen, on the radio and everything. We're live on the radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is a production of the Cave Crew Radio Network at cavecrewradio.com.
From the center of the universe and around the world. Available on demand wherever podcasts are found. From Ontario, Canada, DK. From Queens, New York, the Big B. And from London, England, Choo Choo Stew. Live broadcast every week on Facebook, YouTube, and at cavecrewradio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being man.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gonna go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power play goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. My name is DK, and I am live from my cave in Ontario, Canada. It's great to be here with you tonight. Tonight is when we start the countdown to the end of this horrid year that is 2020. And we hope to make it as enjoyable as possible, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube at Cave Crew Radio TV. And, of course, we are live at cavecrewradio.com. And we're available wherever podcasts are found. Spotify, iTunes, yada, 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 if that's how you choose to listen. Anywho, let's get into the show. We got a great show ahead for you. We got some really cool stories. We got a review of Mike Tyson and what the future may hold. And we also have Choo Choo Who answering some questions from a couple lucky viewers or listeners or whatever they have. I'm changing my camera here. There we go. How's that? Is that better?
Oh, look at this.
I feel more engaged this way.
Wow.
The camera change. I'm a mystic. Anyhow, joining me live in studio tonight, as always, the epicenter of absolutely something every week. From Queens, New York, the president-elect, the chairman of the board, the Duke of Urine Stench Alley, the Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York. I am Sir Big B, your president-elect here of the United States of America. And this week, we are the epicenter of all things Christmas baskets and treat bags and, oh, my God.
You must go out of your head.
Oh, my fucking God.
What's going on with the donations? And the only reason I know is because Mrs. B Well, she's a friend of mine, and I see she's looking for lights, especially icicle lights.
Yes, I don't know if she's got them or what, but this is something for the school, so they can do a little something for Christmas. Usually, there's a big day. They have breakfast with Santa. They fill up the gym with people. I'm the photographer, and we spend the day there. And the kids come and meet Santa and all this stuff. Obviously, we can't do it that this year with the Rona, so they're going to do a little something with some decorations. I don't know what. But she's looking for decorations, decoration donations. And in the meantime, my entire dining room table, parts of the living room, little bits of the kitchen are all taken up with bags of this and treat bags of that and baskets of this. It's like
She is
fucking
truly the Mother Teresa of holidays.
Oh my God. It's like fucking Michael's Christmas aisle threw up in my house. Holy shit.
Christmas I threw up in my house. Oh, Lord, God bless her. She enjoys it. She has fun.
Well, I guess she has fun. She complains about it every step of the way, and I remind her every time that you volunteer for this.
Right. This is something you can option out of.
Right. But the standard answer I get is it's for the kids. All right, then stop fucking complaining about it.
That's exactly the same thing we used to go through now. We're not doing hockey this year, nor is she doing what's called the Gems Club, which is like a for underprivileged girls. And every Tuesday she would volunteer and spend 3 days doing a craft and absolutely bitch about it. And I'd say, well, same as you. You're volunteering. Quit.
Right.
No, I can't do that.
I can't. I mean, this is for the kids.
People count.
I'm not gonna do that. All right, then shut the fuck up and do it. Don't start bitching about it. Jesus Christ.
Just like me with the hockey coaching. It's like, I'm done. No, you can't be done. The kids love you. They request it. No, I'm done. Okay, DONE, right. or as Jason Scott would say on the pre-show, I'm hun with all this shit. So, hey, go ahead.
No, that go ahead, please.
No, I was just we're both exhausted, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll feed off you and you'll feed off us and somehow we're going to make this happen. I was reading an article. I don't have it in front of me physically like I normally do when I read the news or we're talking about a certain story. Mm-hmm. But I was reading this article while I was waiting to come down and join you on air. That apparently in my area, they're studying wastewater. And this is going to lead to several questions for me. I don't know about you, but they're studying wastewater and they are taking fecal samples. Mm-hmm. And they're realizing that the amount of COVID in the fecal matter in the wastewater, are you following me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember this article as best I can, is much higher than the actual cases. So are they? You know what? Jobs are short right now. I'm glad they're employing people to do this. I don't know. They take a little, like one of those little squeezy things and take a bit of the water. I have questions, but I'll listen to you first.
So let me understand. They've hired people to go root through people's shit, literal, actual, physical shit, and take samples and search for the Rona. In this article, does it state the purpose of this? Because it makes no sense to look for it. And if they're saying it's high, like if you have the Rona and your shit has a higher level of the Rona, does that mean it thrives in human feces?
Or farts? So not only do you need to wear a mask and, I wear eyeglasses all the time to protect my eyes, right. But do you now need to avoid farting in public? But here's the thing. I don't think these are regular Jim and Joes off the street. I think these are like scientists. These are people that could be put to much better use, most probably.
So are they volunteers? They're volunteering to do this?
I don't think they're volunteers. I think these are fucking like university funded people that know how to use syringes and microscopes and test tubes and shit like that. Here's my question. Number one, how are they doing? I thought the tap water was safe. Here is the problem with Flint, Michigan.
Right.
All those people got sick, the tainted water. I thought when I shit and I flush, it goes into like, I don't know. Again, I'm not a smart guy, but I was imagining the shit went this way and the clean water comes another way.
Well, yeah, that's how it is. There's a waste pipe that comes out of your house that all your waste water goes to, your toilet, your sinks, your bathtub, whatever. They all filter out into one pipe. And here in the city, I'm assuming it's the same thing up there. It goes into the sewer system. So, and the sewer system flows to wherever it flows to. Ultimately, is a water treatment plant. So where they'll, clean it and do whatever they have to do. And obviously the fresh water comes in from a different pipe. You get it, from a different, there's two separate pipes.
At what point does this shit exit and mix with the fresh water?
That I don't know. Here, like I said, here we have a sophisticated sewer system, where they are completely separated. I don't know in places like Flint and where it would leach into the fresh water. I don't know if the fresh water is, if the sewage treatment plant is next to the fresh water supply, it could leach in that way. If there's a leak somewhere. But I honestly don't know.
Is there someone standing at a line with a switch going, good water, poop? Good water, poop.
Well, it should be two completely separate things, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, but at some point, the poop has to go somewhere.
Right, it goes into the sewage treatment plant,
and then it's discombobulated into nothing.
Right, whatever they do to it, yeah. However, they ultimately clean the water and take away everybody's fecal matter and urine.
and at some point, someone is standing on that line before it goes into the sewage treatment plant with like a soup scooper and putting it into beakers.
It's great, a soup scooper.
Well, I don't know. So
do they dip their bread in it too? Like they get their soup spoon, put it into a bowl, dip a little bread in, have a little crackers to sprinkle.
Normally I try to research, be a little bit more prepared, but this article really caught my eye. Now here's my other point on this.
Right.
Why do they need to stick a swab into our brain, make us gag, feeling like we're inhaling salt water? I haven't even had a test. I'm just doing what people told me to find out if we're positive or not. When apparently my fecal matter will demonstrate if the virus is present in my body. If you can detect colon cancer from my shit, you can surely detect COVID-19. It would be much easier for me because just like you, I am very regular and I could, I don't know, hold a Ziploc bag underneath my ass and give my sample for the COVID-19 test. I don't need to have a fucking 9-inch Q-tip shoved into my fucking brain.
So that was going to be my question. So if you want to go down that logic, either you get a 9-inch Q-tip shoved into your brain or shoved up your ass. So you're opting for the ass. And if you don't get it shoved up your ass, you want to root through your toilet and pick out your logs and examine them and then put them in a Ziploc
bag. A COVID-19 soup scooper and you put it into this little, vacuum sealed baggie and you ship it off to the COVID testers who are working right alongside the wastewater testers, and you tell me if I have COVID. I don't need my brain picked.
Ladies and gentlemen, new in 2021, the Cave Crew Radio COVID-19 Soup Scooper coming to a website near you.
The keister taker.
The keister taker.
I don't know what. But no. Anyway, this is what a pandemic drives people to do. We have an actual committee, and if we have it in my small town, I guarantee you in New York they got an army of people in hazmat suits testing your shit, because it ain't a thing that Windsor just invents.
I'm assuming there may be, but I have heard nothing of that sort here in New York. It's possible. I'm not going to say no. It's possible. But
I'm imagining a line of Oompa Loompas like you're mining gold in the Klondike or something. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared to bring this story forward, but it's just so strange. Like, I really feel violated now. Like, what if people can steal my DNA from my shit?
Well,
every time I sit on the toilet, I'm wondering what they're going to be. They're going to be doing autopsies on my poop.
That's it. You're going to have a VPN for your fucking ass.
God, people are worried about being microchipped.
My question is, though, what is the point of doing this?
I have no idea. That's why I wanted to. I saw the article. I was sitting beside my wife. I could have had a conversation with her about it. I could have called the anonymous line. I could have called 911. But I chose to reserve to bring this forward to you. I thought it was the weirdest thing.
Well, when you're sick, one of the main things the doctor always tells you is drink fluids and like stuff like that. So you flush your system. So any virus that you get winds up in your colon or, in your bladder, in your waste. That's how you rid yourself of some of this stuff. Your immune system fights it off, and, some of it comes out through your waste, and that's why you flush your system and get it out. So it's pretty standard, I would assume, that if you have the Rona, that part of it would be in your waste because it's being flushed out of your system eventually.
As the white corpuscles are doing battle, that now I'm imagining Rochelle, or what her name was, Welsh. What was that? What sexy thing in the 70s? Raquel
Welch.
Yeah, in the Fantastic Voyage, journeying across my colon, fighting the Rona, looking for a vaccine. I'm sorry, folks. If this is your first time here, don't come back again. But those of you that know us realize we question absolutely everything. And I found that to be strange, Big B. It wasn't what I was expecting to see our tax dollar money going into. People need help. People need food. There's big can drives going on everywhere. We're trying to help people.
Right.
You got to help me, help you. Tom Cruise or the other guy would say in that movie. Anyway, that's all I got with that. Now, I am interested, and I think we should do a poll on Facebook and Twitter. The new vaccine, it's been approved for emergency use in England.
Yep.
It's right around the corner in the United States. They're talking early 2021 for Canada. Are you going to take the vaccine?
I don't know. I have to see what happens with it first. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any stretch of the imagination. I'm all for vaccines, but this is something new. I don't have the Rona. I don't know what the side effects are yet, so I want to see how it plays out first. From what I heard, initially, I heard that the people in the trials, after they got it, felt sick. And that's normal because what they do is like when you take a flu shot. Sometimes you feel sick when you get a flu shot because they give you a little bit of the flu. So your immune system can start fighting it off and build an immunity to it. I would assume that's what they're doing with the Rona. So when you get the vaccine, you're going to get a little bit of the Rona, so your body can start fighting it and build antibodies. But I'm yet to see
my life, a little bit of Rona on my side.
There you go. I just want to see how people react to it first. I wouldn't be first in line anyway. Obviously, it's the people in very high risk categories, elderly people, and so forth. So I would be way back in the line to get the vaccine. So I have ample opportunity to see how it affects people.
But now here's the next question. I also read little tidbits here and there, and I don't take it as the gospel. But what if they say you're restricted from doing certain things like traveling or attending concerts and sporting events, or I don't know, you're restricted from doing certain things if you don't take the vaccine.
See,
how do you feel about that?
That becomes a legal battle because now you're taking away individual rights for people, for freedom of movement and to go wherever you want. That becomes a huge legal issue that I don't see anybody wanting to undertake. So I don't see that. That's all rumors, and obviously the people, the real gung-ho, anti-government, anti-vax people are going to spread that like wildfire. If you don't get the vaccine, the government's going to tell you can't go anywhere. All right, calm the fuck down.
It's like the global reset they're talking about.
Yeah, it's it's all the conspiracy theory people that promote stuff like that. I don't see that actually being enforced. That's kind of stupid and ridiculous.
And Amanda in the chat agrees with you, as do I. She is not against vaccines, but she is not completely on board. It's the unknown, right?
It should be voluntary. Like, I don't have the Rona. I don't have any symptoms. I shouldn't be forced to get a vaccine. If I want to get it, I'll get it. If I don't, it should be okay. It should be handled like the flu vaccine. If you want to get the flu shot every year, go ahead. I normally do. If you don't want to, fine. That's up to you.
Yeah,
I'm not restricted by going anywhere.
I've never had a problem with the flu, so I've never gotten one. But I'm not against it. I mean, I got all my booster shots. My kid had all his tuberculosis, whatever they are. But normally they put a lot more time researching. It's amazing how they came up with a cure for COVID like that. Cancer's still there, AIDS still there, Ebola. I don't know what else is out there. Sickle cell anemia. They're all still out there, and yet, like, quickly, when we put our minds, it reminds me of that old Coke commercial. Like we should all. I'd like to and share a Coke, right? Like how did you do it so quickly? I'm a little bit skeptical, just like I am with the fucking feces test.
Well, I think it's because now if you notice, we're in the heart of flu season, and according to statistics, ain't nobody got the flu, which is really, really strange.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting the Rona, nobody's getting the flu, but masks work.
Sanitizing.
Right.
We're coughing into our elbows and we're separated by 6 feet and wearing a mask. And maybe we should do that every flu season, and we'll just.
All right. So let's go on that. Everybody's being safe. We're not getting the flu because we're washing our hands. We're wearing masks. We're staying distant. We're coughing into our elbows. All the stuff, we're being very safe. So we're not getting the flu. Then why are we still getting the Rona?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And that's, again, I am not a conspiracy theorist whatsoever, but when you look at the data, we're in flu season, nobody's getting the flu. And that's the reason everybody says, just like you said, you're wearing the masks and washing the hands. Okay, fine. Then why are people getting the Rona?
Well, it's just like when the first wave came along, everyone was dying of Rona. What happened to cancer? What happened to heart attacks? What happened to aneurysms? What happened to falling asleep at night? That all happened before. Not a pandemic. I'm not trying to throw shade on this. I'm really not. And I make a lot of jokes like I'm loving this because I don't have to go visit people. And I reminded my wife, they stated today, no one else except your household. And I got this pouty look, but facts are facts, honey. I'm just erring on the side of science.
Right.
But at the same time, when the warmer weather comes back again, I'm going to get itchy. I really am. I mean, you want to get out more. You want to go see things. You want to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't. And here's the thing: these lockdowns don't work because in any instance, in epidemics or pandemics from centuries ago, you didn't lock down the healthy people. You separated the sick people.
Right.
And the healthy people went about their business.
Herd immunity or whatever they called it in Sweden, right?
Right. Well, in Sweden, they didn't do anything. Everybody was out and about. They didn't lock down anybody. You're sick, doesn't matter. Go out, don't wear a mask, don't do anything. But for epidemics and centuries past pandemics, things like that, you only lock down the sick. If you're sick, you have to stay indoors. You have to stay here. You have to wear a mask, whatever. If you have no symptoms and you're healthy, you go about daily life. That's how every other virus.
The problem is, I think, and I don't want to dwell on this all night because we got a lot to get to, but the problem is with this is the sick are not staying home. And you froze. You're like a picture of the Last Supper, and I'm all alone. This is wonderful. This is the most quiet that Big B has been in years. Are you there? I can't hear you now. I see you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. 1 minute. Survey says, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm talking to you. He's disappeared. It's just me here. Oh, Lord, would this be a perfect time for us to segue into a new friend of ours, ladies and gentlemen? By the way, you're listening to Cave Crew Radio live on cavecrewradio.com, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, available wherever podcasts can be found. Big B is ready to join again. Hopefully he can hear me and I hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
Well, that's good.
I don't know why I guess my computer is going to die soon.
Well, just to fill you in what we were talking about, I called you an asshole. And
no, the same thing that happened fucking last week.
Well,
I think
well,
my
then
computer
you end up
is
in that other room, and it's excellent.
It's not another room; it's right there. It's
well,
right
over
there.
It's fantastic.
I could go over there.
Now I'm on this side, and you're on that side. And as a person that likes things to be a certain way, now everything is backwards.
Well, I can't do anything about that except I could leave and go to the other spot.
No, because then I'd have to leave, and there'd be nobody there. And you gotta
Facebook
say,
users
welcome
welcome you
back.
back.
Welcome
Thank you.
back, Big D.
Thank you, Facebook user, my number one fan.
Facebook user number 444. Do you want to do Choo Choo Who or Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson?
Sure, whichever won't make my computer crash.
Well, I would hope that neither would.
I have to get another beer.
All right, you get a beer. I'm gonna queue up Mike Tyson.
By the way, as I was going on my rant, I love that Amanda agrees 100% with everything I say. I like when people agree with me.
She's a lovely lady. Did you not listen to Choo Choo Who last week? And if I was Jason Scott, I would not be buying dominoes. I'd be rolling the dice a little more. I'd be heading to a Pizza Hut or.
Well, I will say this: when the pandemic is finally over and everybody does or does not get the vaccine, I invite Jason, Scott, and Amanda down to New York, and I will barbecue. We will smoke some meat, and we'll have a wonderful time.
We'll smoke some meat. That sounded really like a swinger.
I'm talking about ribs and brisket and chicken.
I was hoping that we were all going to meet in Tennessee, or if you eventually get to Kentucky, that we were going to have like a getaway on your ranch.
We certainly could.
And Choo Choo Stew and Who and everybody else would be there. And we would do a live show, and we would have campfires, and you could smoke everyone's meat to your heart's content.
Wouldn't that be great?
We'll have a Cave Crew Radio glory hole.
I can't wait. But in the meantime, I invite them down to New York, and well, you can make it. We can have a Canadian road trip. All you guys from Canada, come on down to New York, and we will smoke meat. Eric wants to smoke.
We got the big beanstalk in chat. Smoke the peace pipe. There's no war between Canada and the United States. This is Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. They've made their own war. We're at complete peace, and we will open the border once the fecal matter issue has been cleared. Anyway, a big fight on last weekend. Completely disgusted by it. My kid had someone in his bubble, another friend who's not going to school and completely safe. No worries, folks. There's actually two of them, two friends, and they came over, and we ordered the fight, or they did. I paid for it. And we watched it, and of course, there were some good matches leading up to Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., but that was surely the showcase. Who the fuck invited producer Scotty?
He invited himself, and out of everybody, he's the closest.
And he'll probably bring his dogs and shit.
Well, I have 3 dogs and 3 cats, so
shit!
Animals are welcome.
3.
I have 3 dogs and 3 cats.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
You and Scotty should start a support group.
Well, but my cats go throughout the house. They're not stuck in the kitchen.
Great. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So Mike Tyson, 51, I believe, making the big comeback against Roy Jones Jr., and that's not Roy Jones in the picture. We'll get to it as we go on, but I want to talk about the fight first. There were some good undercard matches. I was severely disappointed by the guy that was doing the play-by-play. I was severely disappointed that Snoop Dogg had anything to do with boxing and needed to sing about marijuana for 25 minutes in his prelude to the fight. The fight itself, everyone's, Tyson looked good. He was jabbing, he was moving, I thought Roy Jones did a great job. He stood back, he covered, he brawled, he got some headshots in. It turned out to be a draw. Okay, now Scotty's saying he's no dogs. Then whose dogs was he walking?
I don't know.
All right, I'm confused. Anyway, did you watch the fight or did you?
I did not watch the fight. I saw clips. And from the clips I saw, both guys, I know they're older, but they really look winded. It didn't look like, even if, because they're older, they're not in their prime. I get that. And it was a slow fight, no problem. But they looked very winded, like they were really added, like they didn't really prepare for the fight.
And yet, the true Tyson fans will tell you, "Oh, he looked great. He was amazing. He was this. He was that." I want to play an audio clip for you because Mike Tyson, ladies and gentlemen, I hate his fucking guy. I never could stand the guy. I still can't. But anyway, where do I have that? Here is an audio clip from the press conference of Mike Tyson after the fight. I hope the audio is okay.
Have you already had a joint?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming down. Yeah. Well, listen, I can't stop smoking. I smoked during fights. I used to have to smoke. Sorry, I'm a smoker.
Did you have any marijuana leading up to the training of this fight?
I smoke every day. I never stopped smoking.
Did you have one right before the fight?
Absolutely, yeah.
How does the marijuana effect help you into the fight?
It's just who I am. It has no effect on me from a negative standpoint. It's just what I do and who I am and how I'm going to die.
Did it help?
What? No beginning, there's no end.
Did it help numb the pain a little bit that you might have felt?
No, it just numbs me. It doesn't numb the pain.
Mm-hmm. And you said you want to help other people, but doing it at the sacrifice of your own health at the age of 54, taking punches to the head, do you think that's a good idea?
But that's what it's all about. I've done everything for myself. So what happens if I die? No, really, what happens? I may begin to live when I die. No one knows what dying's like.
Oh, Mike Tyson. He's got a worse lisp than Alex Cardinelli.
Okay, so that conversation, he was surely high during that conversation.
Well, he just told you he was high during the fight. He was high when he trained. I can't remember how many weeks ago. The listeners will help me. I think it was 3 weeks ago. We told you the story about the Wizinator.
Right.
How he had the prosthetic penis.
Yep.
And he used his own baby's urine to pass the tests. He's a fucking moron.
So he smoked weed before the fight. Now, anybody that's ever smoked weed will tell you that what it does is make you very mellow, make you want to eat everything in sight, and sit down and watch, binge watch TV shows. You're not up to boxing.
Great segue to my next portion of the story. Maybe he was high when he bit the fucker's ear off.
He was hungry. He had an attack of the munchies during the Holyfield fight, and the ear looked like a nice Oreo cookie. And he wanted to have to have a bite. He was hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, but at least from here in New York, the bigger story from this event was one of the undercards, the fight with Nate Robinson.
Oh yeah,
who got knocked the fuck out, and he was a former New York Knick. He was a former basketball player from the New York Knicks. So.
The part I don't know if you caught yet, but you got like Evander Kane, you got all these hockey players, everyone is stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
Guy that knocked him out wants to fight McGregor. Bring it on. You fight somebody.
Right. But that's the big talk here in New York is Nate Robinson got knocked the fuck out.
Oh,
and everybody's laughing. Sorry, Nate, you're a joke.
I think Mike Tyson is a joke too. I'm just giving you my personal opinion.
Anyway. It's good. You sold not tickets, but you sold pay-per-views. You raised money for whatever the fuck this was raised for. But obviously neither one of them are in their prime, but they just look bad. They look winded. They didn't look prepared. They didn't look. They weren't in shape as much as in shape you could be at their age. They weren't in that great a shape for this fight.
And not to mention though, because the kids, as I was talking about, my son and his friends. The best part is when they were placing bets and they asked me who I thought was going to win. I said, listen, in the prime, I would go hands down on Jones, but these are two 50-year-old men. They're betting $30. I'm like, you guys are fucking nuts, man. This Rona shit has got you guys. But anyway, here's a guy that the kids want to watch. They recognize the name Mike Tyson.
Right.
And the fucking goofball gets on the TV after, yeah, I'm ripped. Being ripped is my entire life. It's my key to success.
Right. So it's, any little kid like your kids or even younger that are aspiring athletes, maybe boxers themselves, looking at, oh, well, Tyson smokes weed. I can smoke weed too. It's a good thing.
Look at the way, two-time heavyweight champion or whatever he was.
Right. Now, I want to step back for a second.
Yeah.
So in their prime, you take Roy Jones Jr. in his prime and Tyson in his prime. You're going with Roy Jones Jr.?
Oh, absolutely.
Tyson would knock him the fuck out in his prime.
Was a glass jaw. Tyson never legitimately beat anyone. Never beat Holyfield. It was a setup of fights for him, so he would succeed. Jones was what? He was a middleweight. He was a light heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
He was a heavyweight. He had success. The man could move around the ring.
Oh, there's no doubt that he was a great boxer, but Tyson, the punching power of Mike Tyson was, like nobody else in that era. He would knock Jones Jr. the fuck out.
If he landed one, he was a reckless tank in the ring, no style whatsoever.
But he didn't need style. He didn't need style. He'd go in and just knock you out. He didn't need style.
Period of time. I don't want to get in a debate, greatest boxers of all time, yada, yada. You might be in the Sugar Ray Leonard corner. I thought Marvin Hagler was probably the best pound per.
Oh, I love Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I loved Hagler.
Probably the best pound per pound fighter in the world. But anyway, I guarantee you, Holyfield. Now, Holyfield is 58. Tyson's 54. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is like Hogan versus The Rock. It's like redigging up Andre the Giant, bless his soul, to have another. This is stupid. We could sit here all night and debate if Tyson was good or Holyfield or Larry Holmes or Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier or George Foreman or any of these fuckers. This isn't the time or the place to be doing this for Holyfield. I would love for Holyfield to step in the ring with him at 58 years old, land one fucking punch, and there ain't much of a nose or teeth to bust there because the guy's ugly as fuck, and knock Tyson on his fucking ass for biting his ear in the first place 23 years ago.
Oh, but they're good friends now. That ain't gonna happen. By the way, our good friend.
I have that piece of my ear back. I've got a good plastic surgeon.
Our good friend from across the pond, Choo Choo Stu, has chimed in saying Tyson is the best boxer.
What does he know? He doesn't like sports. Choo Choo, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, a good boxer from England, Lennox Lewis.
Yes.
He was a good fighter.
What I'm saying is Stu, look, I don't mean to rat on you, Stu. I don't want to. I don't mean to take away your man card, but sometimes we're texting back and forth on Messenger, and Stu will say he's telling me, my wife is watching football, which, by the way, folks, for them is soccer in our terms, and he'll tell me, I'm going to make souffle in the kitchen. He has absolutely no interest in it.
He's
He
not a
ranted
sporting
and
guy.
raved for 2 weeks that he had to take his son Oscar to a professional soccer game. Yeah, absolutely no interest in it. The only interest he had is the nachos and popcorn at the concession stand.
He is not a sporting fellow.
Not a sporting guy. So for him to tell me Mike Tyson is number one holds absolutely no merit with me. And I'm a boxing well, not anymore. I could care less about it. I lost hope with it with Butterbean and all that other shit.
Right.
But I always like the lighter weights, the middle weights, the welter weights, Sugar Ray, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler. Those were the guys that could fight in what I believe. But
by the way, isn't Thomas Hearns the guy that Tyson beat for the belt in the first place?
He's a middleweight. He's a welterweight. Him and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler, they were all around the same time. There was all those great fights. I think Mike Tyson beat Larry Holmes or something. I have no idea.
I'm looking it up now.
You look it up. I'm going to segue into Choo Choo.
Lennox Lewis is not Canadian. He's fucking from London.
I didn't say he was Canadian.
Not you. Stu said that.
Oh. Well, I think he lived in Montreal, though.
Oh, he may have, but he's from fucking London.
Lennox is a Canadian, he says. Anyway, what a better way to segue into a great thing we discovered by mistake while you're looking that up. We were supposed to have a psychic on, but the psychic didn't have things tuned in and missed the show. And our own Choo Choo Stu stepped up and said, I am a psychic. I'm a member of a psychic church. I am a master in all disciplines of the mystics, and I can take it from here. And he did readings for me and Big B and Eric Evil and Amanda and Jason. By the way, Jason, was there ever a problem with your tire?
By the way, just to cut in, it was Trevor Burbick. Sorry.
Yeah,
Trevor Burbick is who he beat for the belt.
Yeah, there's
on my birthday in 1986.
Fraser in the Thriller in Manila or something like that. Not when Michael Spinks shocked the world. Mike Tyson, this animal, beat a guy named Trevor Burbick, and everyone is going to his wiki, which doesn't exist. Anyhow, Choo Choo Who, ladies and gentlemen. We put it out that Choo Choo Who would take questions, and we would pick a few every week if you're interested in having your fortune told from the mystic himself, Choo Choo who channels the great Kenya from the afterlife, and we chose two, Big B. We chose two. The first one, and I always thought we had a warning on the show that said not safe, warning, not for children, whatever. But this young child came in, and anyway, listen, here's the question, and then Choo Choo Who's response.
Yeah, hey mister, I asked Santa for a Sony PlayStation 5 for Christmas. We are really poor, but I'm going to get it for sure. Right, mister, I'm going to get it.
So here's a child named Owen, who is asking Choo Choo Who he really, really wants a PlayStation. I don't know if you realize this, Big B. I don't know how the flurry is in your house, but PlayStation 5s, Xbox Series X are prime material. I was fortunate enough to click at the right time, and there is one coming. Okay. But these things are very hard to come by. That's a tough question for Choo Choo Who. Let's hear what Choo Choo Who says to this young boy, Owen, looking for a PlayStation 5.
Hello, and thanks for joining us again this week. I'm going to do a couple of predictions. I've got a couple of letters coming. The first one is for this young man. Now, I'm just going to take 5 seconds. I've got Kenya coming in. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the cards this week. So we're going to give the card pack a quick shuffle. And we're going to draw 3 cards from the top with my left lucky hand. And Kenya's coming in here just to help me pick those cards out from the top of the pack. That's the 3 cards. Sorry, because I get Kenya coming through. Sometimes she comes through sort of verbally. It might not make any sense to you, but it does to me. So this young boy wants a PS5 for Christmas. The first card that's come up here. Yay! I know. So Kenya's not getting very good feelings about this young boy. I don't know what it is, but first of all, we've got the justice card for this lad. Now, I don't know if the scales, the good and bad have been sort of on the bad side. We're getting this sort of feeling. Sorry, we're getting it. Kenya, calm down. I know he sounds like a bad little boy, but we've got to read the cards as they are, yeah? So we've got the justice card, like I just said. So I think he's been a bit of a naughty boy, and, he might get what's just coming to him, and that might not be a PlayStation 5. Now, the second card, unfortunately, this is the hangman. The hanged man, and it's coming up to me. I'm not getting good feelings with this one. I'm feeling actually. I need to take a second to breathe there. And I'm sorry to say, but myself and Kenya will take this third card. Now, this card isn't always a bad card. This is the devil. And I'm sorry, young lad, you may need to go somewhere else to get your fortune told, because the hand that I picked for you, or that myself and Kenya have picked for you, is not a very good hand. As far as you get a PlayStation 5, I think it's more likely the police station for you. Be grateful for whatever you get. And that's all I can say, really.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did Choo Choo Who have a macaw next to him?
I was wondering, I'm worried. What is it that Michael J. Fox has?
Parkinson's.
Did Stu have that, or lupus, or Tourette?
I don't know. It sounded like there was a bird next to him. And apparently, while all this is going on, Amanda's having a completely different conversation with people and putting it in the chat.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but wait a minute here. I'm concerned that Choo Choo Stu is diving into some things that he, like, I feel like he's sitting there and his wife is pinching his toe or something. Like, it's like Linda Blair. It's like
he's being possessed by Kenya.
And he has admitted on past shows that he is, he's very loyal to his wife and family. Obviously, they've been together for a quarter of a century. But he's admitted before there is a romantic, and now it's appearing to be like a sick. What is she doing? It's like she's twisting his esophagus into spaghetti or something.
She has a pair of pliers and very, very gently applying it to his scrotum.
Right, but he's so subtle by saying, wait a minute, can you wait? Like, he's very passive. He's the passive one in the relationship, because when she wants to She wants to speak. He's like he's cowling. He's like Kunta Kunte when he got circumcised. He's anyway.
I don't know.
We have one more reading, but before we do that, this is from a past wording. Jason is apparently working. And apparently, yes, there was a problem with the well guard line plastic piece, lol, was loose and rubbing against the tire, whatever that means. I'm not a car person, but so Choo Choo Stew was accurate.
Right, but that doesn't sound like she was mentioning it for us. Because that was never addressed in any conversation we had leading up to this.
Yes, I said, and he read Jason's fortune as well. And if you remember, when he read Jason's fortune, he was talking about something on a tire on a car.
Oh, okay. Well,
With
my
you, it was
mistake.
a leak in the ceiling. With me, it was the color red.
My mistake then.
I still.
I guess I was looking up Tyson fights. I guess at that point.
You gotta let that go. That's so.
It's my mistake.
Yes, I was, and Ken did say that Jason's was accurate. She's fucking eating your ass right now.
Before she's agreeing with me, now she's yelling at me.
But get away from Tyson. That's yesterday's
I'm done with Tyson.
topic.
I was looking up to see who he beat for the belt.
Anyway, there was one more here. Let's get this over with. Choo Choo Who. Laura asked the question. Laura.
Hello, Choo Who. What am I supposed to learn from my relationship with my ex? When will I meet my perfect match? Will I always be alone?
Sounds like a sex doll. Anyway, here's Choo Choo Stew.
And on to the next reading. And we've got this young lady who's been a bit concerned about her love life. She wants to know whether she's going to meet that Mr. Right in the future, maybe next year. So again, I'm going to just give the cards another shuffle. And Kenya's come back in. I know. Just let me shuffle the cards, Kenya, and then we can pick them. Okay. Now this time we're going to deal 3 cards. Okay.
Sounds like he's doing
cards.
something under the sheets.
I'm going to deal them face down. That's 3 cards. I know. Right. So I'm going to turn the first card. Oh, this is a lovely card for you. It's actually very apt. It's the Lover's card. And seeing as you were asking for a question about your love life, this is very apt for you. Yes, I can see feeling this card. I'm being shown a green vehicle. This is like a Jeep, an army-based vehicle. I can see the door opening. It's a army khaki coloured car. I think it's possible you're going to meet someone with an army background. I'm getting February coming up. So look out. I would say look out for army vehicles. Maybe you live near an army barracks, but something in February with that card I'm getting. Now I'm picking up the next card, and this is the card of strength. This is an awesome card. It depicts a lion, and it depicts a lady stroking a lion. I think this is a very good card for you. Definitely a good future coming up. I'm getting nothing else apart from that. So all I can see is yourself getting stronger as a person. Now I know. Let me draw the card. I know Kenya's got really good feeling about you, young lady. So she likes to come forward sometimes when I'm trying to keep her at bay. I just want a little bit of advice from you, but I don't want the whole reading, okay? Right, this last card is the Fool card. The Fool. It doesn't mean to say you are a fool. It doesn't mean to say you're a joker. But what I'm depicting from this, and Kenya's Yeah, I know. I think you've been treated like a bit of a fool in the past, and that's got to stop. And along with the strength card, we can say goodbye to these foolish people that you've been around in the past. So God bless you, my love, and happy love life.
I have a couple statements. I don't know if you have anything to say there about Choo Choo Who.
I just can't get past the bird sounds.
Well, I was
Like
going to
fucking, it's like fucking Heckle and Jekyll.
I can't wait to have Choo Choo Stew back live on the show.
Mhm.
And we'll have to light some candles in the cabin, and we really, you and I, can have a conversation with Kenya.
Was Kenya an exotic bird in a past life?
I wish he would have taken video. I just imagine the facial expressions he's going to make.
Why do I think this is a regular Wednesday evening in Stu's house? He's just having to record it this time.
Dude, he says he gathers the family. Time to review the week, everybody. Give me your questions. What does he call his wife, Mrs. Kenobi or Obi Poby or whatever?
Oogie Coogie.
Ogie Pogie. Don't get jealous. I'm about to get reamed. Quite frankly, if you want to know what it's like to get the COVID test up the ass, Choo Choo Who just gave it to us. I can now imagine myself getting the rear end COVID test. Oh. Oh, wait a minute now.
That hurts. How does he do it?
I have no idea.
Fuck, that hurts.
It's not him, though. It's Kenya.
Yeah, okay.
And see, you're a skeptic. I'm a believer.
That hurt.
See, it's not something that a man like you and I with a low voice or Choo Choo Stew can pull a rabbit out of a hat. That is true demonic or angelic possession. Kenya. We need to have him do it live on air because I need to see the facial expressions. I wonder if he soils himself while he's. It's a combination between an orgasm and a really good shit. My question is number one, how did Owen get like obviously his parents left us on play on YouTube or something. And then no one says where they're from. The beginning of the show, I always say, hello, I'm DK. I'm live from my cave in Ontario, Canada. The people in the chat are always saying, yeah, you know, the weather's great here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or Cornwall, Ontario. You're there in Queens. I call you Laura Kitty Cat from Constantinople.
Constantinople.
Nice. Where are you from? Maybe there's a single guy in chat that wants to help you. Obviously, according to Stu in Kenya, she's in some war-torn place because he saw the green Jeep, the military.
Ah, yes.
Military. I'm thinking one of two things. I'm either going to have a nightmare, which frequently happens on Friday nights after the show, or I'm going to wait for my wife and dog to fall asleep, and I am going to start to break into my best rendition of a Kenya Bohemian Rhapsody.
I want to know, is this young woman, was she a serial refugee?
She's dead. She's passed on the other side. She's probably older than Mother Teresa. She probably died in that volcanic eruption in Italy.
I'm not talking about the parakeet known as fucking Kenya. I'm talking about the young lady who had the question for Choo Choo Who. Is she possibly a Syrian refugee that we tried to place with Bill?
I have no idea. Either her audio was like she had a really bad connection, and that's why I thought she was from Constantinople or whatever you call it.
Constantinople.
Kathmandu. Anyway. Choo Choo Who, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to get them here live again. We got to channel this thing live on air. How come she doesn't randomly pop out in the show like when he's telling us stories of all his past? How come he doesn't start cackling?
Because she's in the birdcage.
Like, is this he willingly? Stu, we have so many questions for you.
He's lined the cage with fresh newspaper. He's put down the bird seed, and Kenya's quite happy in the cage. He's quiet.
I don't think it's a budgie. I think it's like a spirit source that is.
That sound says otherwise. It sounded like a fucking
I don't know. I don't even know what movie to refer to, but it's like Poltergeist or something. Like when the thing goes in his nose and he, I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
This is why you have to watch this show. You can't listen to it afterwards because you miss DK doing.
Well, yeah. How else would you have that? If you were playing that game, what is that game? Charades. If you were trying to get someone to say Kenya, what else would you do? I don't know what else. Like, try to.
You do understand this is radio for the most part. We can't play charades on radio.
I can't hit that high a note. That's the problem.
I wish this could be the name of the show.
Yeah. Listen, if it was someone like Mike Tyson or Alex Cardinelli, I could through it, but I can't speak whatever that was he was speaking. That Gaelic.
Oh my God!
I can't do it. Like I can't. I don't know how he did it. I'm a believer. I know you're a skeptic. I can't do it. Oh, Lord. All right, we have a little bit of time. I have a couple.
Wow. Wow.
How else would you explain it? If you were going to explain it to your wife without being able to hit the note of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, how would you explain it to your wife? I'm simply going to go, Stu went. It's like he was paralyzed by a sonic wave. I have no idea. You have to ask him, not me.
Oh my God.
And he disappears from chat as soon as he pulls shit like that.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, DK will mime Choo Choo Stew.
This is why you need to watch us on YouTube for those of you that are on radio or podcast.
This is my new favorite thing now. It's my new favorite thing ever. I'm going to do that in the next fucking meeting I have. I'm just going to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, what do you think?"
How else are you going to put it into words? You call it a parakeet. I call it this. There's no words for it. It's psychic. It's
the objective for what we do is to be descriptive.
I can't. It's divine intervention, and I am not capable of scripting that into words. I can't do it.
All right. So now, for everybody that listens on podcast and downloads it later in the week, this right here is the reason why you need to come in and watch it live, because from what you're listening to, you don't see this.
I apologize.
You just hear silence. So you need to come here and watch the show.
Okay, you know how to make it easy for the podcast listeners? I wish I could. And next week I'll captivate a little clip of that fucking high pitched pneumonia, and I will play it. And at home, in the privacy of your cubicle, or in your bed, or in your living room, sitting around the Christmas tree with your family, see what physical movement you make. And then you will not catcall me on such a. There's no way. And I've been doing this for over 10 years. I can't put it into words. And a budgie in a cage doesn't do it justice.
That's my favorite thing ever now.
So next week, we're going to have a moment of silence. I'm going to play that fucking shit on the air. Or I could just get a clip of white noise off YouTube, and we could do it all together right now. And you at home, do your favorite yoga movement or whatever it is.
It's Cave Crew Radio, the home version, ladies and gentlemen. You too can mime Choo Choo Stew.
It's like sweating to the Kenya. The new exercise video of 2021. I can't believe I've spent so much time on fecal matter, Kenya, and Mike Tyson. I can't wait to hear what the name of the fucking show is. Anyway,
I have 2 so far. Actually, I have 4, but I think 2. I have 4, but 2.
I don't know how I'd write this, but my name of the show would be.
I wish the show could be called, but you can't do that.
If you knew what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen, he's imitating me. I'm lost for words. Okay, imagine you're on 60 Minutes or Metal Thunder Radio or Tonight Live with DK. All these shows where we've interviewed fantastic authors and rock and roll musicians and comedians and we've had some strange people on this show, like the Bigfoot guy and Raymond the Amish comic and I don't know who else we've had, but I've never had anybody burst into a fucking song like that. What do you want me to do? How do you expect me to react?
Oh, man.
I really, I try to be professional. I try to gather myself. If someone says something, I try to come back with a witty comment. I don't speak fucking Kenyan or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, this was great. And to think we were both exhausted at the start of the show.
Oh, not anymore.
I'm wide awake
right now. I can imagine, he and sometimes he'll text us and he'll bitch about his wife snoring. Look, I can handle my wife hollering out a hog rather than waking up and going, like a fucking Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan match. Oh, fuck. I feel like singing everybody's Kung Fu Fighting or something. I don't know how to react to this.
Oh, my goodness.
You're making fun of me. Fucking put my arms in the air.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh, God. Choo Choo Stew is gold. I tell you, he's gold.
Even when he's not here.
He leaves us.
He leaves us with wonderful nuggets.
I just wish I had sound clips of that. I would play it again. I'd like everyone. I'd really like to see screenshots of everyone's face when they saw that. Like, okay, I went like this. What did you tilted your head like a fucking dog getting a treat? Like like you were hearing a dog whistle or something. What did everyone else do at home?
Do you have something there where you can store drops on so you could just hit it at any point? And
yeah, well, if I caption it, right? Like, so for next week, I can make a sound bite And
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just that sound, and just you can hit it at any point in time.
yes, and I'm going to.
I think we need that to be the first soundbite, the first drop
That's
for
better than
Cave
cancer
Crew Radio.
the butthole.
Yes, we definitely need that. Oh my god.
Someone, Facebook user is channeling Kenya. If you can send a photograph, either post it on Cave Crew Radio Facebook page, or if you could send it to us at cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Actually, we have a contact page on our homepage at cavecrewradio.com. Just everyone, please, if you want to make this a Merry Christmas, as we say goodbye to 2020 and we head into 2021, if I could get 25 pictures of people channeling Kenya, and if we can make this trend on TikTok and Instagram, I will make a soundbite. I will play it on next week's show.
Can you ask your pal Bordeaux to channel
Bordeaux
Kenya?
can do it. Yes, I will. I will get a picture from Bordeaux. I'm sure he's better than me. Yeah, I was taken back. I was. Congratulations, channeling Kenya, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's howling like fucking cats fighting in the alley tonight. And
A Facebook user says I'll be in the studio next week.
oh, is that must be Choo Choo Who?
I would assume. or producer Scotty. One of the two.
I want you to light incense, get yourself some fine wine. And yeah, show never ceases to amaze me. There's apparently a model who was out on Fox News, New York Times. She claims, I should get a picture. I apologize. I'm completely out of sorts here. Hang on. I always have pictures for these stories. This is a good looking girl. This will make you throw your arms in
All
there.
right then.
This young lady apparently claims that sunbathing her vagina for 2 hours a day has bolstered her libido.
Okay.
A Brazilian model claims that she increases her sex drive with a little afternoon delight. You get it, vitamin D,
right?
Of sunning her vagina. Nothing better than the morning sun, Letitia Martin says, who goes by Luna LeBlanc. She captioned this in a nude Instagram post of herself this week, in which she displays her naked body. I didn't want to put that up here.
Damn it.
With her legs spread in the sun. Did you know that exposing your private parts to the sun can provide you with more energy, increase your libido, improve your circadian rhythm, which regulates the entire functioning of the human body, and still help get a good night's sleep? The bikini influencer continued in Portuguese, ending the post with a question to her 14,400 followers. What did you think of this experience? The majority of the comments on the photo, which has racked up more than 1,200 likes since being posted, are mostly fire and heart emojis.
Yeah, thank
you. With a few stragglers warning of the sun's dangers, including cancer-causing abilities. If you want to upload more juicy content, do it, but don't mess with practices that can be fatal, wrote one troubled viewer. Several studies have linked vitamin D to sex drive changes, although Martins doesn't cite any scientific backing. A doctor chimes in to say there is no evidence that sunbathing in this way has an effect on physical well-being. This is Dr. Diana Gell of the UK. Yes, practicing mindfulness and meditation and getting your dose of vitamin D is beneficial for mental and physical health, but you don't need to damage your skin in the process of sun exposure. Last year, there were snaps of a self-proclaimed healer that went viral after she argued just 30 seconds of sun on the nether regions is equivalent to spending a day in the sun. Adding that it gives her surges of energy, better sleep, and better creativity in life. Megan from California also shared a snap on her Instagram page practicing perineum sunning, which she could be seen presenting the area between her anus and vulva to the sun as part of her routine. So this is
the taint, ladies and gentlemen, the taint.
This is this is not just one girl. I can't wait to walk outside and see my neighbors with their fucking heels up in the air. And
can someone tell me the correct SPF for a labia? I don't know what it is.
And how exactly do you aim yourself to hit the area between your anus and your vulva?
I don't know.
Anyway, that was a good one. I got time for one more. This is a good one here too. This is from England. I have a few stories, but we just never got to them tonight. But this is going to be a good one too. All right. So as you can see, we're carrying on almost on the same topic.
What the hell is that?
Well, let me explain it to you.
Please do.
British Airways, ladies and gentlemen, is investigating reports of a stewardess that is offering sexual services between flights. Passengers are also promised unspecified adult entertainment on board.
Nice.
Unspecified. British Airways is investigating reports that one of its Heathrow-based stewardesses is selling sex and her undergarments during and in between flights. Photos of the flight attendants' risque advertisements on social media were first reported by The Sun. The photos show her in a variety of suggestive poses while in uniform on the plane. For $33, a passenger can be the new owner of her underwear.
Okay.
Twice that will be securing a fee where a prospective client can meet her at a hotel. According to the paper. $66.
$66 to meet her at the hotel.
Yes. Passengers are also promised unspecified adult entertainment on board if the price is right. All you have to do is give me a sum of money and you'll be treated to a whole different experience of your choice.
Nice.
After the first report of the alleged advertisements, her social media accounts appeared to have been deleted. In a statement to Fox News, the airline said it had launched an investigation to identify the mystery stewardess. I have never seen such entertainment on a flight. Normally my main thing on a flight is a crying child.
That's the general consensus for any flight.
And wishing that child would shut up.
See, now this could become an industry.
I've never seen a stewardess with her buttock hanging out, her left buttock hanging out, walking by me, asking coffee, tea, or me.
See, now some entrepreneur could take this and start their own airline that does specifically this. have stewardesses or flight attendants, as they prefer to be called now.
If Dennis Hoff was
offers
still
sexual
alive,
favors.
I think if Dennis Hoff was still alive.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. And this is a little bit off the sexual favor thing. How does one come to an agreement on an unspecified amount? At what point do you find your median?
Well, like it's like a used car negotiation. You offer one, the dealer has a number, you have your own number, and you meet somewhere in the middle.
She flashes her left buttock and you get your platinum card out.
There you go. I'll show you my left boob for $50. I only have 35. Okay, let's make it 37, and you got a deal.
All right.
So for $37, you can see her left boob.
Or her left buttock in the case of the picture.
Well, for the picture, yes.
Anyway, an unspecified amount, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we got. I think we've left you this week with quite an amazing amount of things to digest, including, vocal exercises.
Oh, my God.
Let me get a pen. I want to give you a warning, ladies and gentlemen. I see there's still quite a bit of you out there in the chat. If you'd like to participate in naming the show, we would appreciate your help. I don't know that. I only have one thing written down. I can't even hardly read my own writing.
I like I said, I have 4, but 2 I think are
Oh, you got
contenders.
4. I think you
I have 4, but 2 I think are contenders. I'll name all 4, but
I wish for the people in the chat, as we all channel our inner Kenya. And going back to that, before we name the show, and we're waiting to see if anyone wants to name the show, you're right. The deadly enemy of radio or podcast or anything audio is dead air.
Yes.
And I committed the deadly sin. I was,
but it's my favorite thing ever right now.
And unfortunately, there's no way for those of you listening, but I bet if you listen to that noise, you could, because that's the great thing about radio and podcasts is you visualize the story. I mean, now we're on video. We've been on video for years, but the one thing that captivated me and got me interested into radio and podcasts was when you listen, be it a comedy or a drama or an audio drama, you visualize the characters, you visualize what the hosts or the characters are talking about. And I hope that by my lapse in character, that my reputation is not jaded, and that you too visualize what I might have done. Let me simply say it was a mixture between a Mai Tai cocktail and an electric chair. Don't know how else to. Anyway, let me have a swig of beer, which also radio silence.
Please do. While you do that, I just want to mention that I have now become hooked on 2 TV shows, both having to do with Canada.
Oh, great.
There are, and I pointed out one to you a couple of weeks ago. There are 2 shows called Heavy Rescue 401 and Highway Through Hell. Both showed on the Weather Channel here in the U.S., and it's also on Netflix. Now this tracks giant tow trucks who pull semis out of ditches, and when they jackknife and crash and all of this. So it follows the tow truck drivers and what they do on a daily basis. Now, a lot of things, if you've never been to a country, you can only see what you see via what's available on media. So via watching Heavy Rescue 401 and Highway Through Hell, apparently no truck driver can drive in Canada. It snows constantly and everybody crashes.
And again, you have to remember, I've told you this before, Canada is the USA can fit into Canada twice and a half.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My weather where I live in the southernmost tip is nothing like what happens in Nunavut or the Yukon or northern Alberta, which
Now-
is probably where most of this happens.
Well, the first one, Heavy Rescue 401, is on the 401 highway. I've
Right.
never heard of it, but apparently that's your main highway.
It crosses right from the what will soon be the Gordie Howe Bridge, but from the Ambassador Bridge from Detroit, Michigan, and it eventually turns into Trans-Canada 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is our main highway, and I can access it right from my house.
There you go. But apparently everybody crashes on the 401.
Stu, obviously overtired from work. I don't know how he became from Facebook user to Stu. Obviously, maybe that was Kenya. It was saying that they would be in studio next week, says the voice of Kenya. No, that's not good enough. Not for this week.
No, absolutely.
I don't think so. I apologize, Stu. You've worked all night. You've been on the train. But yeah, another one you got to watch. You're probably not into fishing, but Cold Water Cowboys.
Never heard of it. I don't know if we get that here.
What's that American show where they're fishing off the coast of Washington? Deadliest Catch.
Oh, that's in Alaska. That's in the Bering Sea.
Yeah, so Cold Water Cowboy is a Canadian version.
Oh, okay.
Can't understand a word the guys are saying. Like you can't believe they're from the same country as I am.
I will have to look that up then, because now I'm obsessed with watching these fucking. I'm in a semi. I'm just gonna crash.
If you
every
like
10
Canadian
seconds.
shows, you need to watch Kim's Convenience, which I'm sure is on Netflix or somewhere, and Corner Gas.
Corner Gas.
Yeah,
interesting.
Kim's
Never
Convenience.
heard of these. I have to look them up.
Those
I just
are
happened to.
but they're you'll love them.
I came up. I was down here one day a couple of weeks ago, and I go upstairs, and my wife is there with my little one, and they're watching Heavy Rescue 401. I didn't know what it was called at the time. I watched. I said, "What the fuck is this?" She goes, "I don't know. Some Canadian something they follow Canadian tow truck drivers where trucks crash." I was like, "All right, fuck it, let's watch it," and immediately got hooked. I've watched like entire seasons of this show, so I'm very excited by it.
Canadian TV.
There you go.
All right. So we have nothing other than the voice of Kenya, which I will refuse to call the show.
Right.
What do you got? Because here's what I got. I'll tell you, because I wrote this down, I think, at the beginning. I'm going to try and read my own writing.
Yep.
Something, the ear looked like a nice Oreo cookie.
An Oreo cookie, yeah.
That's what I wrote.
All right. So I told you I have 4. 2 of them I don't think are good contenders, but I'll say them anyway, just in case you like them. First one is Dr. Domino's. And the next one is the Keister Taker. So those are the two that I don't think would be named of the show. These two now I think are good contenders. The first one coming way back in the pre-show that comes from Jason Scott. G is pronounced H. I like that one a lot. But then, as we went on with the show, I think I like this one a little bit. I thought G is pronounced H. I thought was going to be the name of the show until this little nugget came out. You ready?
Yep.
The Fantastic Voyage Across the Colon. I believe that's a quality name for tonight's show.
And hang on. I can't disagree. There was a classic line by Jason Scott. G is pronounced H. He was just trying to give us a little bit of culture.
I love that. I honestly thought that was going to be the name of the show from the time I heard it. Until that nugget of the Fantastic Voyage Across the Colon.
But do you not remember that Raquel Welch movie? It's like...
No, I don't. I honestly don't.
It's called The Fantastic Voyage, and you need to Google it. Raquel Welch was a sex symbol, I believe, in the 70s.
Sure, I know who she is.
And this was their science fiction thing, and they shrunk them, and they injected them into a body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if it was across the colon or not.
Well, for our purposes, it was.
Unfortunately, I want to vote for, but we cannot. So, yeah, The Fantastic Voyage Across the Colon should draw a lot of interest to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I apologize for my lapse in judgment, as I have several times. Either Kenya or Stu will be in studio next week, apparently. And we can gain some clarity on what we heard tonight during the psychic readings. That's all I got.
I can't wait.
All right, well, let's go back to being tired. I'm going to go eat a gyro or hero, I guess is the way we're taught to say it. And then I'm going to get a good night's sleep as well. And go enjoy some more Canadian television.
I'm looking forward to watching new episodes.
All right. I hope that everyone will, on their way, Google some Canadian television. Also, if you're into a more boring type of thing, look up The Beachcombers. That's an old classic Canadian show.
Right.
Oh, and Anne of Green Gables. That was another one.
What was it? What was the corner one? The corner store or something like that?
Corner Gas.
Corner Gas. Okay.
And Kim's Convenience.
All right. I have to write that down.
Excuse me. Kim's Convenience is about a Korean who's in Canada who owns a corner convenience store. And Corner Gas is just, and I'm sure you've heard of, now I can't remember the name, with Bubbles, and I'll report it to you later. I don't want to hang out too long looking for who those guys are. Anyway, folks, thanks for listening. We love being with you. We'll see you next week. Both Kenya and Choo Choo Stew scheduled to appear. And we'll get to the bottom of this, I'm sure.
Later.
Thank you very much for listening to the show. Now stay safe, take care, and wash your hands. You are listening to Cave Crew Radio, available on demand and live at cavecrewradio.com.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!